You're listening to Mark of the Maker. Hey everybody, I'm Mark Steiner and you're listening to Mark of the Maker. This is episode 95 of the show. This is, believe it or not, the kickoff of season 6 of Mark of the Maker. Cue the cheers. Yeah. That's wild. 6 seasons is bonkers. I can't believe that. We have the whole crew here with us tonight. We have Mr. Michael Birch.
I am here and ready. Been a while.
Listen to that. He's raring to go. We have Mr. Tom Crine.
Hello.
I almost forgot your name, Tom. It's been so long.
Right.
And we have Mr. Sean Kendrick.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. We're recording this very shortly after the beginning of the new year. We got a little off schedule. I think we built ourselves a little bank of episodes, which is wonderful because it lets us have some flexibility coming into the holidays. And we flexed ourselves right through the month of December and most of November. And so it's been a while since we had an episode out to you. We apologize for that, but we're back in the saddle and recording. So we have lots of cool stuff coming up that we'll talk about.
Life happened.
A lot of life happened here in the last 2 months.
Holidays are hard.
Seems like every year we're like, oh, we're not going to take a break. We're going to do it.
Right.
And then they're like, nope.
It never works out that way. Usually we have enough of a bank that we can ride it out, and it's I guess not usually. At least a couple seasons we had it where we had enough in the bank that we were good, but we only had one episode in November. We didn't have anything out in December. So we appreciate everybody sticking with us.
Sorry about that, guys. The holidays, and it seems like there's several shows crammed right in there that one or the other of us is going to.
Maybe always, certainly this year that was the case, right? There was a lot of things happening at the end of the year, plus family stuff, plus
sickness
holidays.
And family.
Flus.
Ugh.
Yep, we got flu A here.
Terrible.
It sucked.
All right, well.
I'll take the blame for all of it. You guys just put that one off on me.
Sean's taking it for the team. We appreciate you, man. Okay, so we got to thank our patrons, our folks that support us on a website called Patreon. It's patreon.com. You can go to Patreon, search for Mark of the Maker, and you'll find us there. And it's a way to help support the show with a little monthly pledge of a couple of bucks or several bucks, whatever you feel like doing. There's a way to do it through Patreon. So if you want to support the show, that's a great way to do it. It helps keep the lights on, keeps microphones moving. I think we got another one that's another guest microphone. You know, people don't always realize we ship microphones all over the country to do our interviews. And between people handling them and not knowing how to handle them and the post office.
The U.S. Post Office.
Yeah, the U.S. Postal Service and all kinds of stuff. They get beat up and they have a very short life, unfortunately. So I wouldn't say very short, but they don't last forever. So we replace microphones. We have some software that we need to pay for. We have some web hosting and other stuff. So Patreon is the primary way that we do that, and that's our lifeline for supporting the show. So if you do support us, we give you a big high five and a thank you. We've had some people there who've been with us for a long, long time. We also have some very new people who just joined up, and that seems like we have that in a steady flow. So we appreciate you guys, and thanks very much for doing that.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks very much. It makes a huge difference.
Greatly appreciated. And you know who else we got to thank? It's been a while.
It's been...
Old George, AMXINC.com, American Metal Exchange, got your titanium, got your damaged steel, got your zirconium, got about everything you need. And don't forget the free shipping.
Oh, yeah.
Got all the goodies. AMXINC.com, American Metal Exchange.
AMXINC.com.
George has a pretty sweet haircut, too.
Dude, you know, I was going to say something about his wonderful head of man hair. So it's got to be a thing if we were both thinking it.
You guys getting an extra discount?
They are now.
I'm trying like hell.
George had a sale right around the first of the year, Christmas time frame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on Instagram. It's funny. He has some stuff that he posts on Facebook that's always makes me laugh, but his Instagram is also opposite hilarious, where it's like an unfinished piece of tie with some numbers out of the industry that he gets it from stamped on it, and that's his image for a post for AMX. We got to get him to. We got to help him with some Instagram marketing.
Well, you know how good I am at marketing. Let me get right on that.
Like a gray square. I think that's a sheet of titanium. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he knows if you know, you know.
That's right. That's a very, very, very good point. All right, George, thank you, man, for sticking with us. And we appreciate your support, buddy. Thanks for helping us out. And for our listeners, please get your stuff from George. He's both a good dude and a very long-running supporter of Mark of the Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Fan of the show.
And a fan of the show. He does love the show. Yeah, we're in the first part of the year, but I think we're going to spend a good portion of this one talking about 2022, like a little recap, look back.
The reflection episode.
Reflection. The introspection show.
Mm-hmm. How was 2022?
Last pain.
Right. How was 2022?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, dive
It
into
was
it. Man.
interesting.
It was interesting. I will say that.
Yeah.
It was a busy year for me. I think, oddly enough, for me, it was probably the most busy I've been, and possibly made the least amount of money. And I don't know how that works.
Really?
Yeah.
I know how it works.
Tom is painfully familiar with that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was didn't seem like I was raking in any amount of bucks or anything like that, but it just seemed like there was no breaks.
In all seriousness, I think part of it was you did a lot of shows.
Oh, I think so. You're always
Shows
prepping for it.
Yeah, shows are expensive. People don't get that, but I mean, yeah, you get an open bid or you do whatever, but you prep for them, you try new stuff. It doesn't work. It might work. It might not work. It takes extra work. And so, yeah, the return on investment for shows is not as good as just a solid week working in the shop. That's my take personally. And I think you did more shows than you've ever done, right?
Oh yeah. No, it was, for me, it was a lot, but the thing about shows is I think I did more knives because it does make me do a lot more knives, but yeah, some of those were intense type of knives that I spent lots of time on.
Yeah.
And sometimes those work
they were
out,
epic.
sometimes they don't.
The finished product was epic.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
I would have been shocked if you were to summarize saying that you didn't make as many knives. This seemed like by far your biggest year as far as numbers go on number of knives produced.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of custom knives, but I think I also was waiting on other projects that I've been waiting forever on, and they didn't come through. So I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of a weird knife making strange. Sometimes we're always doing kind of some other things, to try to not blood, sweat, and tear for every single dollar we make. But sometimes those projects take forever, like the OEMs or, whatever you want to call them, or just merch and things like that. Some of that works out, some of it doesn't. Sometimes it takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
So hopefully this year will be a lot better with some of that stuff.
I think you also invested back in the shop quite a bit this year, and that's time and money also.
Oh yeah. No,
it was, I think for you, just from the outside looking in, I think it was a combination of things.
Yeah. I think that's, I think it was my time to get sick too, but as soon as Gus left,
Right.
it was like my body started just falling apart. It was like, you're done. You're done with shows for the year. It's time for you to hit the sack.
Yeah. What was interesting for me, we're definitely, Tom's a recovering medical guy, but we don't claim to be experts or know shit about any of that stuff. But, I went so long without being sick with anything, cold, flu, COVID. I had none of it. Right. So it's like when I did get sick this year, I don't know if it was worse or if I'm just a big freaking baby, because I
was
haven't been
worse.
sick for 3 years. Maybe it's both. I don't know.
I think our immune systems took a little bit of a hit. And
I could certainly see that logic, but
I know down here in Arkansas, flu was awful this year. Like, they're talking to people in the hospitals. I've got family members that work ER and stuff. Flu was like a punch in the nuts. It was pretty rough down here.
yeah,
And it was combined with like
RSV.
yeah,
Yeah.
RSV, and some other stuff. And it was just all like right there, just boom, boom, boom. And it was hitting people really hard
Yeah,
because they just hadn't had, and it was hitting everybody because nobody had any immunity.
yeah. I guess so. I just it made me really appreciate having gone as long as I did without being sick at
Right.
all. Right?
Yeah,
Like, it was like 2
100%.
winters in a row with not even having a cold.
Yeah.
So weird. In a beautiful way, right? Like, should sign me up for this all the time, right? I don't like being sick. It sucks.
I feel like I paid it back this fall though. I got like a really bad stomach bug from my niece's wedding, and then I got flu A from the Kentucky show. I didn't know I had the stomach bug when we got it at the wedding, and we left at 3 a.m. driving to Florida the next day, and I was
Yeesh.
puking in the car on the way down. It was awful.
Yeah, not fun. All right. So
Talk about some other stuff.
2022 stuff. So yeah, you're thinking you made more knives, but you had more expenses in part because you did more than twice as many shows as you normally do, Michael. That was kind of where you're at.
I think that's probably accurate, and I may be completely wrong. I maybe Abby'd be like, no, you did fine. I don't know. Just I don't have that feeling.
I'll have my people reach out to your people and we'll figure that out.
Yeah, but I had one of my favorite shows that I've had in a long time this year,
Yeah.
and that was, oddly enough,
Yeah.
when I wasn't behind the table. It was, we talked about this Blade show with Tom and just walking around. It was the best time I've had in a long time.
Yep.
It's fun to experience the other side of the table. And
Hell yeah.
for you guys, you don't really get to do it, but I don't work Saturdays, so I do it every year, and it's like the best.
Yeah, but I think it was also different that, I and I've done this with Mark too. Like, I'll get like an hour or something away, and we'll wander around, look at stuff, but getting a full amount of time, because it's one thing to do it by yourself. It's another thing to do it with someone who also appreciates the
Agreed.
same things that I do. They want to look at the old knives. They want to talk
Dude,
to
we
the
were
people
nerding out.
that have the old knives and the old makers, and that was just I enjoyed it so much. I don't know. It was a treat.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think Ben was looking at me like I was crazy to start with, but then he started actually listening and looking at some of the stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty cool."
Yeah, I heard you chime in, Sean. You've had that experience too, right? A number of times now where you've gone to a show, you're not selling stuff or displaying or whatever, and you're just there to enjoy it.
Yeah, man. I mean, the first time I did it, I was like, holy shit. Now I remember that knife shows are fun.
Right. Not just an ass whip.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So Michael did way more shows than normal, right? Maybe I'm not exaggerating. Maybe I am double, triple, whatever that number is. But certainly,
Oh.
What shows did you
more.
do?
I did TKI, February. I think it was February, and then I think I just did Blade, and then Billy's Friday Night Blade Affair, a Nashville one, and what else was there?
You did an art show, didn't you?
That was a Friday Night Blade Affair.
Oh, okay.
Was it 5? I thought there was another one. I thought there were 6.
yeah, I
I
thought
thought you did one in
6.
Nashville.
I did Nashville. That was November.
The second one, no?
Yeah. Yeah, second one. I don't know. It seemed like I'd have a month and a half maybe to wrap up for the next one and just kind of start going.
Yeah.
What do you think about having all the shows we're having? It seems like 2022 was the year of 10 billion shows.
I think it'll continue. I mean, we're going to
Well, I
find
agree.
that there's a lot of people realizing you don't have to do the big Blade show or whatever, but You do. I mean, you ought to.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you'll find people that don't want to go do these things, they can do it in a room somewhere and have a regional show. But that kind of goes, then we're kind of circling all the way back around to pre-internet, pre-big show, where it was just regional shows and no one really got to handle anything but what was in your region.
So, question, and this is for all you guys, do you think that all the little shows affect each other? You know, are they pulling from each other and stuff like that?
100%.
Yeah.
It's got to.
I think I saw that this year.
Yeah.
You saw it how, Tom? I'm curious.
Okay, so just customers, friends of mine that I normally see at certain shows were not there.
There you go. Yeah.
I think attendance may have been down at some of the shows or all of the shows a little bit because people aren't going to all the shows. You can't go to all the shows.
Right.
I mean, if you're a working dude, you can't get off that much time. So you got to pick and choose. And, I really, I found it interesting. I've decided to cut back on some of my shows. Some of it's choice. I really think that, you can do too many, like, just talking to Birch over the year, I felt like it really was wearing on him. And, as far as I feel like he was stressed out and a little bit because of it.
Just tired.
Yeah. It wears you down. Shows are a big deal, not only prep, but during. And that's what people don't understand. It's like we work ourselves harder before a show for probably a week and a half than most people even can understand. And then we're expected to be behind a table during the show and we have to be on our best behavior. And really, a lot of us are introverts already. And then we have to talk, and we talk more than, we do in a week in a few hours at the show.
Yeah, it is work. It's fun. I mean, shows are fun. There's no doubt about it. I
I love them.
Great
Absolutely.
seeing people, but it is work. You are tired because then I stay up, have beers with friends and customers and stuff like that. But I'm there bright and early in the morning at my table, ready to go, and stand the whole time, ready to go
on concrete. And it's
does not matter. But I'm not bitching. I mean, it's fun.
No,
I don't know.
I'm not either. Don't take me wrong. I'm just maybe it's I'm getting old. I hate to say that.
No,
I think
dude,
that's
you're
part
just
of it,
stating
too.
the fact of the matter. It is what it is.
I love shows. I want to go.
But yeah, we were getting to a point of picking and choosing because you don't know what customers are going to be there. And, some of these shows are kind of short notice, that you're like, oh, we're doing a show in 5 months which is kind of short notice to be like, oh yeah. I've already got plans for this show or that show or whatever. They're all drawing from a limited pool of collectors, makers, and I don't know. So yeah, it can be tiring. And for me, it was also, I think I'm going to have to slow down some of this because of my kids are getting to do more. There was definitely more soccer, more science Olympiad type stuff, that just more going with the kids. And I'm not missing that stuff for, I'm there for that stuff.
No,
so,
you shouldn't.
Right.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to sacrifice anything to miss that stuff.
One,
But
I'm almost at the other end. Like my kids are getting where, they're old. My wife doesn't have to take care of them. So it's like when I go to a show, she's lonely now. So that's an issue that I have to take into account. So,
well, she should come.
yeah, I've tried to get her to, but the problem is we have dogs and she doesn't like to leave them and all sorts of different stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That van's, it can hold some dogs.
There you
Pretty
go.
sure.
Skippy the service dog at the show.
Dude, Skippy's a good boy. He's big though.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing to think about, right? Because we started talking about this a few years ago or a couple years ago, right? The whole idea that, hey, look at all these small shows that are coming, and we thought that was going to be a trend, right? Mm-hmm. And it is clearly. I mean, it's not like we're being it's not rocket science or something, but
Nostradamuses.
Nostradamuses. Yeah, that's us. And so, okay, they're here, right? There's a shitload of shows, and it's kind of an interesting take the good with the bad, right? Like on one hand, it's really cool because there's lots of opportunity, and because there are more shows and in more places, I think than there have been shows for a long time. There's better accessibility to shows. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of shows. So instead of, hey, here's these 4 kind of key shows that I know, like all my friends are going to come to these shows, right? And then I can pick up a couple more if I really want to do a couple more. Now it's sort of like, wow, there's like no kidding a huge calendar, and where do I really want to go, right? What time can I take? And, you know, realistically, for me, it's who am I going to see when I'm there, right? I mean, it's a big piece of the story. So
It's a
Seems like
very
just
big
about
piece.
every month there's shows now.
feels like it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, are you doing any shows now?
I will do one in 2023 and maybe a second, but I've only committed to one.
Do you know which show you're doing?
Yeah, Portland show.
Okay, Billy's.
Yeah.
Billy and
Wouldn't miss
Nick's.
it, man.
I've got to say that I am going to try to go. I don't know. It's a long ways out and expensive, and I don't. If I don't go, I feel like I'm going to let Billy and Nick down, and I don't want to do that 2 years in a row. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to get to that one or not. I really want to, but it's also, I mean, they picked a time that they could, but it's in the summer, and that's kind of, you know, it's hard to do stuff, and when you're kind of trying to spend that last kind of moments with family, and it's a lot of birthdays shoved in there. But I don't know. It'd be hard not to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't know what I'm going to do in 2023. I didn't do that many shows in 22. Maybe 1? 2? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know if I was making up for lost time, or I think I got caught up in maybe saying yes too much, which I'm not usually. I've gotten a lot better at, you know, not doing that, but I got caught up in it last year.
Yeah.
I did the
surprised
least
me.
amount of shows I've ever done this year or last year, whatever.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah, but you're
3, and that's it.
efficient and fast.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Sean? It surprised you how many Michael did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually worried.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I mean, I know Michael. We know each other. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, man, is this the best thing for you to be doing, buddy?
Right.
Nope.
Boy, got himself spread a little thin.
Yeah. But now, I also enjoyed watching Michael grow as a knife maker. Dude, you put out some fucking fantastic knives last year.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed seeing the process. I liked seeing where your head was at with that.
Well,
No,
I love
appreciate
seeing your shop improvements. So now you've got, you took time to build tools, which is so hard for me to do and so necessary, you know, and you did it, and now you have a better ability.
Oh, you mean wasting time building a hydraulic press when I could have bought one?
Well, that did cross my mind, but you know how to repair it now.
He better, because he can't get parts for it.
And
I don't know.
I did price one the other day, and I do realize that it's not just as easy as going out and buying it. It's a significant investment.
Oh, it's wild. There's still some Uncle Al's and stuff like that, and yeah, the main ones are very expensive, but they're so badass. But yeah, you see so many people with them, like how, you know, kind of newer guys, you'd think, and it makes you wonder how are you? Is it a business loan, or I don't know?
Well, yeah, you look at, what is it, the coal iron?
Yeah.
That's the one that I'd really like to have, but
Oh yeah.
it's like $15,000.
Yeah, I think that's with all the good stuff, but yeah, they can get.
That's the
get
only
up
way
there.
to get it, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like
that's
$10K
true.
plus 4 for the controller, and then you got to get a foot pedal, and yeah,
The whammy bar and all the fun stuff.
dies.
The controller's kind of the key deal with those, isn't it?
Well, it's the cool option, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I want one,
Right.
and I don't even forge, so
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
like I don't need it.
Tom's out here squashing rivets with a $15,000 press.
Need and want have nothing to do with each other, though.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the fact that I won't makes it neat enough. How about that?
There you go. That's the
the logic I can get behind.
I'm here for you, buddy. I'll enable you all day.
Right? That's what we all do to each other. It's maybe not
Right.
helpful.
Yeah, it's weird. This year I was like, I'm going to do something that makes money for the shop instead of just waste time. And then somehow it's already January something. And I'm like, where did all my winter time go? I know I got lots of winter left, but
Yeah.
usually I get a lot more, fun time or whatever between, Christmas or before Christmas and stuff. It just didn't happen this year.
Yeah, everybody at your house was sick. That takes the on right out of fun.
Yeah, finished the show and I got sick and then everyone else got sick.
Yeah.
So
And here we are.
So we know what Sean's doing for shows in 2023. Have you made a plan yet, Michael?
I still am in debates on New York. I'd like to go.
In February?
Yeah. The main worry for me is the weather. I need to be able to get home to my family. And that's always kind of the worry there. Especially, I definitely can't be routed through Chicago. Depends on flights and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a fun show and a kind of a low stress show.
I love that show. I'm not sure I like February in the big city, but I would have been down, but it's a Saturday only show, so it's out for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of a bummer.
I think it'll be a good show, and I just, I have a special place in my heart for Delac too and his shows.
Yep.
I just want to kind of go and take a few knives and hang out and see some people that I don't always see, which is, like we said before, a big part of it. Had to drop TKI in February because it's actually right on my birthday. So I don't know if my family would like it if I was somewhere else.
The Blade West was on my wife's birthday, so I was like, sorry, I'm out.
Yeah. That's a no-go. I think I might go to Blade, but not to have anything, just to walk around.
Blade show?
Real Blade show, but just to go. I've never done this before, but I'd like to just go. Obviously go for materials, the natural materials that I can't get anywhere else, and just walk around.
You're talking about Blade Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So you're not going to have a table?
No table. I haven't paid for a table. I got so far nothing.
That's crazy because you've been doing that show for a long time.
Yeah. And that was the interesting thing about last year was seeing that it was definitely become more of a. I saw so many new micro brands. We've talked about this. Like there was a ton of micro brands.
Yeah.
Right.
And oddly enough, though, I do think some of the production stuff may drop before that, possibly supposed to. So it would have been kind of primed to go do it, but I don't know.
Your
Maybe,
production stuff you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, some of my production stuff. So maybe I try to hop on a last minute table if something does happen, or I don't know.
I'm glad you're coming because I don't like it when my friends that I go to shows with for a long time don't go, and it'd be weird if you weren't there.
But I'm going to feel so guilty because I'll spend money, but I won't be making money, and I don't. That's so weird to me. There's this even Stevens I like to do.
Yeah.
What allowances. I made some money. I can buy some material. It's weird.
Yeah, I get that.
And you could rationally, sell knives before you go to the show, and be the same in your bank account. Doesn't matter, but still in your head you're like, oh, I don't deserve to buy materials.
I always deserve to buy materials. That's how you make money. You just found that out. You put a bunch of your mammoth on some cool little knives.
Oh, why'd you got to bring that up, man?
Ben was laughing. He's like, those little knives are going to kill Birch.
Yeah.
That's killing him to use up his mammoth.
Yeah, very true.
He's
I've got so much mammoth, but I still was like, I looked at it, was like, it looks so empty in there.
Yeah.
The cupboard's bare.
Mm-hmm. But those were fun. Those were really fun to do. That was
They look cool.
side quest, So I guess I did do a little, actually made money. But yeah, I lost mammoth in the process. So was it worth it? I don't know.
Buy more mammoth.
That's what I said. And next time I see my man, I'm gonna tear up the old turnage table.
There you go.
I think that's something to consider when you're thinking about doing the Blade Show that way, where you just go. And I mean, some of this is maybe talking yourself into it, but there's a lot of valid points. Like, to make knives, it makes sense to enjoy knives, right? So maybe it's a help yourself feel good about knives show, right? Where you're just going and enjoying it and taking some stuff in. And maybe it's, you got some ideas and there's a little, looking around, what's going on, what's happening with different projects people are doing, what's happening with some old knives, and how would that influence something I'm thinking about doing. That's super valuable. Like you said, go buy materials, and you should end up buying materials whether you're doing a show or not, probably, right? But I don't know. I think there's probably lots of good reasons to go do it, even if it's just like a networking thing.
Oh yeah,
dude.
No, but also it's just like, and I hate to say it, there's these makers that I don't know how many shows they have left, and I want to see them all, and try to talk to them while we can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, it's about recharging the inspiration batteries too. I mean,
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I think it's a great plan.
No, I can rationalize myself, anyway.
So
like anyone
after
else.
Blade, are there any other shows you're gonna know you're gonna hit and exhibit at?
Oh, I know I'm doing before Blade. I am, so here we are again. I am doing the New Orleans one, Matt, the
I saw
Slice
that.
one.
Yeah.
Which he was like, oh, it's down here in New Orleans. I'm like, I like Cajun food, and then I was pretty much in.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. When's that
Yeah.
one?
May something. Which is another reason to not really, hit Blade or want to be, turning around and doing another one right after.
Right.
June.
So maybe New York, Blade to hang out, New Orleans in May.
Yep. Friday Night Blade Affair, and then I don't know.
When's FNBA? It's in the fall, right?
October.
Okay.
End of October. So
That's in California, right?
yeah.
That's not bad spacing. If you did February, May, that's 3 months. May to October, 5 months.
That's 3
Really,
shows
May?
plus one fun show.
Yeah.
Plus Billy, maybe. I don't know if I can.
Right.
So that's once again how it all adds up again. Got to be careful.
Pretty soon you're doing 12 shows, Birch.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I'm planning on 3 so far.
What you got?
I'm going to Blade, Texas in March. That's actually turned out to be a really, really fun show. And it seems like a lot of the people we know show up there.
I've heard that.
I liked it. It's kind of had like the early USN vibes. Like year 2, 3, somewhere in there. It's not super big, but it felt big, and it had a good cross section of makers. So I really like that. I'm doing that again this year. Then I'm going to do Blade Show, which I like what you're doing there. I don't know that I'm ready to do that yet. Although Blade Show is really expensive. When you got a booth and people come in and travel and everything. So anyways, Blade Show. And then I'm going to do, I'm planning tentatively to do the USN show. Oh, so those are my 3 shows.
Ah, nice.
I'll be curious to see what happens to the USN show.
Yeah.
Also possibly considering doing a couple trunk shows. we've been talking about doing one in North Carolina for a while, and we may, I think North Carolina. I don't know, one of the Carolinas. I get confused easily. But yeah, we may do that. Yeah, that would be it. If we do a trunk show, it's kind of interesting. I've been trying to figure out a fun new way to do it. And one thought was, since I'm making folders now, we sell 12 special tickets. Everybody that gets one of those, you pay X dollars, and I'll bring folders. Everybody that buys one of those tickets gets a folder.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that exactly, but we're trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Interesting.
I like the idea of those. Just kind of picking a spot you want to go to, and say, hey, this is the brewery there, or wherever you want to do it,
restaurant, whatever. Restaurant.
Yeah, and be like,
or like in California, I had a friend at his warehouse. We got a food truck, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
Todd Resser's place.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, we've talked on the show lots of times about how putting on show is a bigger deal than people sometimes think. That's a different story, sort of, right? Because it's you and people buying your stuff, and it doesn't have to be 500 people, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the first one I did was awesome. For me, I really, it was kind of enlightening, and I just said, hey, this is where we're going to go. Food's on me. If you want alcohol, food and soft drinks are on me. If you want alcohol, it's available. It's on you. I fed like 40 people, had a great time, sold a lot of knives, and it was awesome. 40 people just come together, hang out, share a meal, spend 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd be down for just 12 people. 12 people that show up that just like, I don't know.
Well, dude. Yeah, it can be small, fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that expensive. It was less than a table at like a small show. And I sold just as many knives, and I had more intimate, personal. No, that sounds weird.
I was going to say, I hope the next one is contact.
I was going to say contact, but I was like, man, put on the brakes. In my mind, I was like, let's jump on those.
Sean's like, yes.
You start saying words, and you listen to yourself, and you're like, what the hell am I saying?
What exactly did Tom do at this so-called show?
Yeah. Anyways, what's next?
Sudden urge to change the topic. All right. So we're talking about, we're kind of jumping around. So we talked about 2022 being busy. We talked about 23, some stuff we're going to do. We talked about favorite show, right? What, it seems like this trend of little shows is going to continue until there's not enough people to support it, right?
Right.
I mean,
I think so. And I think it'll be interesting to see if it gets so regional that we start seeing regional styles again, in a way, if that makes any sense.
Well, that'd be cool.
What's the Badger show? Maybe that comes back into vogue or whatever.
Oh, in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a show up there.
Yep.
A guy comes by my table every year at Blade and puts something on my table.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
He's fulfilling his destiny
Mm-hmm.
by badgering you. No, that's it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where all that stuff goes. I don't know what the next frontier is. Maybe it's the trunk show thing. I could see that really working for people.
Yeah.
It seems like one of the things we saw a lot of in 2022, and maybe it's not a lot, but we certainly heard a lot of talk about it, and in several cases, it actually happening. And that is people doing like hosting people to do a school or come build a knife. You're going to send me this much money. You're going to show up. You're going to build a knife. You're going to at least do some part of it or all of it or whatever level of it you want to do. And you're going to leave with the knife, and we're going to hang out and do whatever the maker's version of life is in the middle. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That certainly was a strongly growing thing. I'll be interested to see if that gets even bigger in 2023.
I made some progress. I've been talking about doing a class forever.
Right.
You just need to do it.
So, well, I don't have the grinders. I bought another Dozier grinder, so I got to get that here. But you know the bunk room where the laser is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a bunk room anymore. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
I cut a hole between the shops. So there's like, I have a doorway passage portal type
How big
thing.
a hole?
It's a doorway size. I mean, it's like
Just barely
yeah,
man-sized.
So it goes from my shop into the side shop, into the other stop. So now I'm working on getting a new service over there. We're putting new AC and then lights are next. But yeah, I'll soon have about twice as much space as I currently have.
Yeah, but this is where the go-kart track was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I still got the other side.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think that's a great idea. I talked to Nick Chirpin. He's got this huge shop. I'm like, dude, you need to put a go-kart track in.
Yeah.
He didn't go for it.
No?
But yeah, so making progress towards being able to run a shop. I'm hoping 2023 is a year that we do a couple classes. So
You haven't had a class because you're becoming the Gentry land baron.
Right.
I also changed the name of my business as of the 1st. I have a new LLC.
Oh.
Yep. I'm no longer Crime Knives.
What?
Nope. Dissolved the LLC as of the 31st. A couple reasons we got rid of it. One, Crime Knives, it's like, oh, you're a weapons dealer or arms dealer or whatever.
Oh, boy.
I couldn't get a cube, different stuff like that. And so there's some liability there. So we did away with it. I'm now Orchard City Manufacturing,
Really?
doing business as Crime Knives.
Wow.
Interesting.
So, yeah. It's all done and paid for.
Check that out. This is like when Prince changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol.
Mhm.
I'm now the artist formerly known as Prince. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that was actually kind of a big deal and kind of expensive to do. But
Is it are you incorporated now?
yeah, I was incorporated before.
Oh.
I had to dissolve it, and now I'm incorporated again.
Is the new one an LLC though, or is it a?
Yeah.
Okay.
They both were. Yeah.
Nice.
They come Thursday for my FFL inspection.
Oh, that kind of
nice.
manufacturing. I got you, fam.
Yeah, right.
Don't
I
sweat it,
see how
man.
it is.
Yeah, Sean says no big deal.
Should be good. I've already talked to the lady on the phone. Her name's Karen.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so hopefully it goes good. She seemed really nice.
Yeah.
The first thing you got to do is make a joke about the name when she shows up.
Nope.
See how that goes over. Just try it.
No.
Right.
You gonna ask her not to
And-
shoot your dog?
And
Funny,
they
I was
really
talking
like
about
when you
Ruby Ridge today.
give them the finger guns.
Right. Gosh, that's not the kind of haircut I thought you'd have.
Shit.
Um,
Hopefully she comes before this comes out.
Orchard City Manufacturing. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I thought you were in like Chicken City.
So I'm in Gentry.
Yeah.
Gentry changed its name in the late 1800s. I think it used to be Orchard City.
Really?
And that stems from all the orchards that were around here back in the 1800s. Northwest Arkansas was this apple mecca. The Arkansas Black came from here. There's a couple other apples that were grown around here, and that was a lot of what happened around here.
Interesting.
Huh.
So
Springfield's known as the Queen City.
Yeah.
there you go. You could
I
be
don't
Queen
think so.
Manufacturing.
I think there is something called Queen City Manufacturing. That sounds really familiar.
Cincinnati's known as the Queen City.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, Sean. Good point.
Stolen Valor.
So yeah,
Wow. So functionally, it's a Chicken City, but historically, it's Orchard
Well-
City.
I wouldn't say Gentry is a chicken city.
Okay.
We did just put in a humongous plant, but we have like the second, actually third. I think there's two in Collegedale. The third McKee Baking, which makes Little Debbie plants.
Oh, yeah,
we have a really big one, and it's only like 6 blocks from the shop.
Yeah.
Which
McKee's where
sometimes
John Graham worked before he stopped
in
doing
Collegedale.
that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes you walk out and Gentry smells like a oatmeal cream pie, which is really pretty nice.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
It's like an industrial air freshener.
That makes you hungry.
It doesn't take a lot to make Tom hungry. All right. New business. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Did you talk about this in your Facebook group?
No, not yet.
This is
this is
some inside
breaking
baseball
news.
right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Orchard.
Nothing really
City
changes
Manufacturing.
for the Facebook group.
No, but I like the doing business as thing. That's like very mysterious.
Yeah, IRS is writing stuff down right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's some shit that Sean would do. Sean would rock that mysterious vibe.
Well, and the bank was like, so I'm still waiting to open a bank account because we had to wait until the 1st to file our DBA. And they don't want to open an account until we do that. That way, if I get a check to Crine Knives, I can deposit it into the Orchard City Manufacturing account.
Some mafia shit.
So, yeah.
All right, I predict before 2023 is over, Sean launches his new venture, cotton candy manufacturing. What do you make? Guns and knives.
Actually, man, I'm Him of Doom LLC.
Hymn of Doom. There you go. I think I knew that.
I actually really like that.
Yeah.
And not like HIM, it's like HYMN.
HYMN.
Right.
He went the opposite way.
My DBA's Kendrick Arms for the guns.
Okay. There's no false advertising there. People are coming to Tom's place like trying to sell him apple crates and shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just curious. I mean, we've got a list we're kind of working on, and I'm just, as we're reminiscing, looking back on 2022, is there any big changes you guys made as far as what you were doing or, things in the shop?
Did I change anything in 2022?
Yeah, and then we'll look forward, but we're reminiscing mostly.
Yeah, I don't know if I had time to change really.
I know you made some
there's
new
a lot of
tools.
Yeah, there's laser and things like that, and you keep adding to it in a weird controlling way of not wanting to let anyone else do any part of what I do. But yeah, I kind of just kept my head down and trucked along. Kept pushing different design stuff, different ideas. But other than that, it was just work. Nothing, no big name changes, nothing wild. For me, at least.
What about you, Sean?
Man, I was so balls to the wall with the gun stuff that I was just, doing what I know how to do.
Right. Now with the gun stuff, are you running that? Like, are you gonna try to make that like economically part of your business now, or is that? Do you know what I mean?
I got to make
there?
some money off of it if I want to keep the FFL.
Right. But and
really,
I'm
I want to start making some silencers of my own and see where that goes.
Well, that's kind of was my question, because with this machining that you've got under your belt now, you have the ability to make some badass stuff.
That's what I'm hoping, man.
Cool. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the FFL a lot too.
Oh man, you're gonna dig it. Once you get that first suppressor and it's there in like 3 weeks, you're spoilt.
Yeah, and in the other part of the shop that we just opened up, I've just set up 4 benches with vices and all that stuff and tools, and I've invested quite a bit to be able to build AR-15s because it's interesting to me, and it's one of those things where I don't have all my eggs in one basket type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no big changes in the knife shop though.
No, No, I mean, I bought a fiber laser, so I may start using that for my logo, but
That's really cool.
other than that, no.
The fiber laser's cool.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's still sitting in the crate. I haven't even uncrated it yet.
Yeah, I've decided for myself I'm not buying any new big machines until I get the 2 paid off that I have, which is getting pretty close. I'm under a year on both of them, I think. But I really want a decent sized fiber laser like I've been talking to Ryan Johnson. It just seems like there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with it.
I just want a good lathe. Like a really good
Same.
one.
Like CNC or manual,
Either, man, I don't know.
right?
I really want a CNC, but I don't. By the time you build one up, it gets to a lot of money, but like just either, a Schaubling, but man, they're so expensive.
Yeah, by the time you buy one, period. It's like, it
Yeah,
adds up
or
too.
an HLV or something, whatever they're called, the Harding Super Precision.
Yeah.
One of those would be fantastic too.
The-
I don't know.
You know the
Once
one
again,
I've been looking at?
What's that?
The Grizzly Gunsmith lathe. Those are supposed to actually be really good, and they're
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, that's
economical.
what Billy runs, and it was a great machine when I was there. And it's the one I've been looking at for the past 2 years.
Yeah, they look like they'd be great. I've almost bought one a couple times, but like I said, I'm trying to hold off on buying equipment. I'm sinking money hand over fist next door right now.
Yeah, I want to go smaller. I want 5C, and I want to turn my own screws, and I keep wanting to dig deeper and deeper into, doing my own shit.
Ownership.
Yeah, I keep heading that way.
Yeah, I totally get it. I personally don't have any desire to make my own hardware.
That makes zero sense. Financial at least.
Well, yeah, and that's just like, I mean, I don't know. Steve Kelly's stuff is really nice. I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm not making the level of knives that you're making. Does that make sense?
Different types of knives. Yeah.
Exactly. And I totally understand why you would, I'll be honest. I'd love to see what you could make.
That would be fun.
But yeah, I think a lathe would be really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. What about you, Mark? Huh? Big changes?
Big changes in podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big changes. Big changes. I got some work stuff going on. Got some big news coming up here, and
You're like working
Very,
super
very soon.
secret stuff.
secret
right?
squirrel stuff's going to get real here shortly. So that should be fun. Looking forward.
I will say I sent something to Ben the other day, and it was it's interesting because Michael and I have been talking about artificial intelligence, and did you see where they asked the AI to design a SUV Corvette?
Is that what that picture was?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, it is cool. I was just like, huh, that's cool.
There's all kinds of speculation out there.
Yeah.
Speculation all over the place. It's an interesting time in industry. We'll see where everything goes. Lots going on.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to hear what you're doing when you can tell us without having to kill us. I don't want to be dead yet.
No, it's not a good time.
Not
good
for
time.
me, it's not.
No. Yep. So lots going on that front. Very busy with work stuff. It's going to be a crazy year. So
This year was crazy for me, for sure. I made more changes this year than I've ever made, which
yeah.
ain't saying much. I've done the same thing for 30 years now, or I don't know how many years, 29. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, just, kind of slowing down on what I normally do, focusing on folders and kind of more higher end pieces. Like I just built a bunch of hidden tangs and
Right.
stuff like that. And,
Those are awesome, by the way. Like fucking, I hate how it makes me want to make a bunch though. Like,
you just got to come down and we'll build a couple and we'll get it out of your system, and you can, I'll just show you what I do, and then you can take it home and do whatever the hell you want, improve on it.
yeah, I'm slow at them because then I want to hand rub them. I want to all that bullshit.
I'll tell you what, I ain't missing hand rubbing at all.
Ew, said Tom.
Well, it's like I made a lot of changes for myself, for my own health. As far as like my hands were really starting to hurt pretty bad all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I just realized, I was talking to my wife, and my hands haven't hurt for a couple months. They feel good. Like they feel 10 years ago good.
Imagine
So I'm
that.
like, this works. I mean, it's like I still hand rub the flats on the folders because that's really the only way you can clean them up and stuff. And I blast them after that. So, but yeah, it's crazy. I've changed the way I work, and it's good.
Yeah. We all need to be thinking about that stuff. I try to think of, I know this is like ungodly to say, but more, what do you call it? Jig grinding and shit like that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we won't be able to do this forever. I mean, I look at the people that are, like Bob Terrazula.
Yeah.
He's kicking ass, and he's found stuff that works for him, and he's continued to be able to work, and I hope that I can be as productive as him when I'm his age. And,
Yeah.
who knows,
But he's done it smart from the get-go. He's always done sort of stuff on jigs, and like he likes to set things up to make life easier for himself, to be more efficient and do it how he likes. Yep. He's very smart in that sense that I never usually am,
I'll be honest, like transitioning, folders still drive me crazy on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to, I'm getting better with every one I build. And,
Yeah.
I think I built something like 60 or 70 folders this year.
Damn.
I just cut out another probably 60 blades. And I'm getting ready to start heat treating them next week because I'm out, But I'm not doing like what you're doing. These are relatively simple, good functioning knives. We're working on a couple new product, I guess. My design is just getting them off the mill.
Yeah. Right.
And that's able to speed me up so much. I mean, it's like, and I don't get bored building the same knife. Usually I'm one of those boring people that can eat at the same place every day for 20 years, I do like variety, but I can do it. I don't know if that's because I'm German or that's how my dad, I can remember a funny story. My dad and I stayed in Nebraska and worked the summer when my mom and my brother moved down here. We had a job. My dad had a job he had to do. And there was a Mexican restaurant up there like Taco Bell. And they started offering breakfast, which was not a good thing because we ate there 3 times a day, every single day.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad's like, it's okay. It's cheap. We'll eat there every day, 3 meals a day. So I don't get bored making the same thing. I've talked to Luke about it. Lucas Burnley, absolutely does not enjoy doing the same knife over and over.
No.
I think most
I envy
makers
that
don't.
a lot. Your ability to do a lot of stuff, because you get to like really get down and perfect that piece.
Yeah.
I like to flit around and do whatever.
And I'm going to try to do more of that. That's kind of on my list to do this year, is to just, basically in my head, I want to build more eclectic pieces, like these hidden tang daggers I just did. I don't know if you saw those, but I've had those blades and I've had that design for, the blades have been heat treated for at least 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They just been in the shop. The drop points I just did, those have probably been here in the shop for 20 years.
Wow.
So yeah. I just need to push myself a little bit more. And that's what it is pushing myself. And I'm always afraid, can I sell it if I make something weird? So I'm just going to try to do that.
I think the answer is yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, it seems to be. So, I mean, we'll go with it a little while and see if it continues.
Well, and I mean, I think although maybe this isn't a fair assessment, I mean, you guys sometimes have a very transactional approach to stuff, right? Like Michael has to go to a show and earn money at the show so that he can spend money at the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in your case, Tom, right, maybe that's the way you do it is, hey, I'm doing these things for efficiency, and as a result of the efficiency, I'm going to use this time to do some funky stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like a trade-off thing. And that seems like a very healthy one, right?
Yeah.
Because if the answer was at some point, right, okay, stuff happens, something needs to change, you know what I mean? We want to buy a house to retire in or vacation in or whatever. Okay, maybe you flip to efficiency mode for a while and just bust it out. But, you know, maybe it's okay to spend that time doing some funky and different stuff because you have a flow of stuff that can pay the bills and keep things moving.
Right. Yeah, it's this gig has been good to me, and it's been a crazy ride. And I'm going to keep riding it as long as I can.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel a weird shift coming, and I don't know what it'll be, but I know it's coming with me.
Yeah.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't know. It happens every, I don't know, maybe 6 years or something. I don't know. I change what I'm doing and how I do it. You know, sometimes it was, you know, going from fixed blades to folders, and then folders to, I used to do a bunch of like, I'd hide the pivots, and then I went to pivots, then these really funky pivot collars, and then I just feel like there's going to be a design shift coming.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know why it happens, where it comes from. I think sometimes I make stuff and then I see a bunch of maybe similar stuff, or I don't know. I feel like I just need to shift sometimes.
But isn't it kind of exciting when you feel that coming and you don't know what it is?
Yeah, I don't know what it'll be. I really don't. I just feel that it's something's coming for me, and I don't know what it is. And I don't really know how to explain that one.
Sounds ominous.
It's not. It's just different.
I can't wait to see what it is. I think it's like we get inspiration in the back of our heads sometimes, and we don't even realize that it's there, and it's back there.
Yeah.
And it's talking to us, but we don't know how to listen to it yet.
Yeah. It'll come. One is doing a bunch of, I've got to get the fusion down, which I've said forever, but once I do it, everything needs to be either imported or new for designs. So I don't know. I don't know where that will take me. Hopefully somewhere cool.
And I wonder if you've seen this, as we get, I say we because it's not me doing it, it's Daniel. As we get better at fixturing and get better at CAD and all that kind of stuff, it's like we've been going through and updating all of our designs. So when it's time to run something new, we're making new palettes, new fixtures, totally going through the programming and everything. Because over the 4+ years we've been doing it, we've actually learned something, and we realized that when we started this, we didn't have a clue. None. Zero.
No, you change how you CNC very quickly, and it's strange. Maybe not for people who know CNC better than I do or whatever, but I quickly learned that there was a lot of practices that just sucked, especially fixturing, that I had to this has got to change quickly. So yeah, it's always evolving somehow.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, so Michael had on this list new knives or knife makers you found this year.
Oh yeah,
in the past year. That was a hard one for me. Maybe
Really?
I'm terrible at discovering new knife. I mean, I got turned on to a bunch of makers by you guys, and I don't know. I didn't really come up with one there.
So
What you guys?
yeah, I got some. Where's my phone?
I knew Tom would. I didn't really have
I'm
a
not
need
going to
to-
say who mine is, but I'm going to send you guys a link to his Insta, and I want you to scroll through it and look at all the different stuff he's offering,
All right.
and then we'll come back to me. How about
Well, I'm
that?
intrigued.
Because it's not just knives. Actually, it wasn't the knives that drew me in the first place. It was some trench clubs.
You had me at trench clubs.
Yeah, dude, I knew I was preaching to the choir on that one.
Dude, his knives are clean.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the one Sean sent.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been following this guy for a while, Sean. Yeah, those like war club kind of things he's got going on are outstanding.
Oh, dude, the gunstock clubs are
Yeah.
bitch.
I love gun stock clubs ever since Larry Harley had some at Blade one year. And Last of the Mohicans, of course.
Mhm.
Of course.
Did we talk about this maker on the show?
I'm not familiar with him.
No? Okay,
Have I
so
mentioned him before?
you
I
may
mentioned
have.
the clubs.
Or maybe you sent me some stuff that he did. I don't remember, but I've been following him for a while. Okay, so the maker we're talking about is K on Instagram, KOENSCRAFT, Cohen's Craft, maybe.
Yeah.
And it says Morgan, so his name must be Morgan, maybe Morgan Cohen's. Anyway, there's some really, really, really good looking stuff in here. Good looking knives. These gunstock clubs are outstanding.
Man, if you scroll down here, I'm going to try to send you a link to this.
When he's doing some Best Tech stuff, like he's having some of his designs made.
Yeah.
War clubs with the steel edge.
Yeah.
Is that what you just sent?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
these
those
are
are some other clubs.
They're like tire thumpers or something looking things. Yeah, that's
just
real cool.
beautiful wood on them. I mean,
Yeah.
just a really nicely finished piece.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a sucker for curly maple like that. That's outstanding. He's got one like that has like a set of sprockets on it,
I'm getting ready to send a link.
So do you see if you scroll down on the right-hand side, he posted about 8 weeks ago, their Machu Whittle Club, War Club. They're cool. They're curly maple with like inlaid steel blades on the sides.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see those. That's really cool.
Those are cool, right?
Really cool.
Man, if you scroll down far enough, I'm trying to find it. It's down. Ah, here it is. He does a push dagger that's pretty fucking bitchin' too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got a couple of them. That one with the big fuller.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Like a really gladius type blade almost.
Right.
Yeah, that reinforced point, man, which makes a ton of sense on that type of knife.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good call, Sean.
Yeah, pretty stuff. I maybe.
I like his use of fullers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really awesome.
Yep.
Like he's got some big camp knives with some fullers in them that are like massive, it looks like.
Right. Yeah, I think what brought me or got me following him were those, because he's made those gunstock clubs for a while, and he's done some really cool ones. So I think maybe that's what got my attention. And probably you sent it to me, Sean, is probably where that came from.
His knife works really clean.
Yeah.
It appears to be. I've not handled them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I'll caveat it with I've not handled anything, but every time his pics pop up, I always pay attention.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff.
Oh, did you see this big D-guard dude?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
Look at the
that's awesome.
swedge on that thing. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's real cool.
And an interesting execution on the D-guard with the metal reinforcement on the micarta and everything.
Yeah. Does he have closer pictures of that? Oh, so it's sandwiched on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's a trip. That would fit right in my little drawer of ridiculous fixed blades.
Everybody needs one.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's hot. Very nice, man. What about you, Tom? You were about to drop one on us. Or was it a new maker that we talked about, or someone who's new to you that we talked about before?
Yeah, so I've got some makers, but one I wanted to put up front, and it's a factory, is Rossley. And I kind of went down a rabbit hole into, the Northern Europe knives, Sweden, Finland, Norway. And this was a company that I really started watching and following their Instagram and stuff. And they're really making some really cool stuff, at least in my opinion. Some of it's not cheap, but they're doing some really, I think, really cool user bushcraft type stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with the company, but their Instagram was really good over the last month or two that I've been following it.
You're going to have to spell it, Tom.
ROSELLI_established EST_1976.
Wow.
But just traditional, like puku type stuff.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy their work. And I started digging through some of my stuff, and I actually have one of their knives, and I'll probably be getting a few more. But yeah, that was a cool one. I bought another factory knife that I really liked the design, and I wasn't familiar with the maker, the designer, but it's a little Civivi, and the designer, I don't know how to say his name, Ostep Hell. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, I've heard that name before.
Pretty neat stuff. I really enjoyed the little detent slip joint that he designed. So that was a couple, factory type, fixed blade type stuff that I noted new people or took note of a company. Makers. This is a new maker, and I've actually been talking back and forth with him. I'm going to end up with one of his pieces pretty soon, I think, at least. Thomas Rucker. Are you guys familiar with him?
His name sounds familiar too.
Let me find it, and I'll send you a link. Sorry.
Yeah, it does sound
super
familiar.
Prepared here. He's from, I don't know exactly where he's from, Europe somewhere. He makes some really badass big fixed blades. Here's a Facebook link. So his name is Tomas, and then Rucker, Rucker Knives, and it's on Facebook. He has a group, and his stuff is cool. I think it is. It's like a rustic forge cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's rustic clean.
Yep.
Very clean. Are any of you guys familiar with his work?
Yeah, I've seen it. Now that I'm seeing it, I know that I've seen it.
It's really clean.
Yeah, very nice stuff.
And I'm going to be okay to say this. His prices are pretty reasonable. I'm going to order a couple pieces before this gets out. Well, I mean, with Jan, the same thing. His prices, we gave him a shout out, and he became more popular, and his stuff got harder to get.
Yeah.
Expensive. But I love this guy's use of like oak.
Yeah.
It has that very rustic feel.
Dude, his Hamon game is on point.
He's not messing around, right?
Fuck no.
Brute to forge finish on the flats, and
Yeah.
his big camp knives are wicked cool.
Yeah,
like his Ness Monk knives.
Pretty stuff.
So, yeah. I really like his stuff. What else?
These maybe this isn't fair because maybe this isn't the right reference to make, but these knives with this very rustic style and the very elaborate sheaths and stuff it makes me think Winkler, right? Like early Winkler stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can totally feel that.
Yeah.
I personally feel that these are probably finished a little bit more. I don't know if that's
Maybe so.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so.
Winkler was trying to make a historically accurate type piece, right?
Right.
So his pieces were pretty damn amazing, and I love his early work. But this guy's not trying to be historically accurate.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to cast shade anywhere.
Right.
But I just feel like this guy, Thomas's work is super clean.
Yeah. No, that just guaranteed we'll never have either one of them on the show, unfortunately. But
Shit.
I'm kidding. No, they're cool pieces. I really like that. Good call.
Let me see. I'm going to send you guys a picture real quick on. There's another maker, and I think maybe Sean did you tell me about this guy? I can't remember. It seems like one of you guys told me about this guy, Jacob Slickwa.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
Birch talked about this person.
Oh yeah, Birch. I knew one of you guys did. His stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
Really clean. I've been following him for a while.
Jakob Slowka. At least that's what it looks like. Sliwka. Yeah. Yeah, I had him on my list when we talked about favorite knives of the year. Some of his stuff is really, really cool. That most recent one is outstanding.
Right.
Kind of that modern Puko-ish kind of thing.
The last one I've got, and this is one that you guys probably know already, but I've been seeing more and more of his work, and it's always been good. I feel like it's even got a little cleaner, is Don Andretti.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know who that is, right?
Yeah, California.
I've been seeing a lot of his work lately, and it's really cool. His Instagram is California_custom_knives. And, he does kitchen knives, but man, they're just so cool.
But he's doing cool kitchen knives when we're all back doing tactical knives.
Exactly. He's been doing this for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It seems like lately they've really been hitting home with me.
Yeah, he's been doing beautiful work for a long, long time. He's one of the makers that really got my attention at the first gathering that I went to.
Yeah, right.
It was like, whoa, check this out. Because I hadn't seen any of his stuff in person. I'd seen him on the forum and stuff, but seeing these knives in person is like a whole other thing.
Well, and at that time, he was still doing the rock sculpting, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was like his main gig, and he was slowly transitioning to the knives. But I think that's all he does now, and it shows. I mean, he's really perfecting the kitchen knife.
Oh, yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah. I don't know if he came back to it or if Facebook or the algorithms were like, here, we're going to show you guys him again. I don't know how that ended up because, exact same thing. I hadn't seen or heard anything for a while, and he kind of popped up making cool shit again.
Yeah.
Or always has been. I don't know.
If you scroll back through, I mean, his Instagram he's been active, but I wasn't seeing it for whatever reason.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird how that stuff works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pleasantly started seeing it again here, I don't know, in the last few weeks, and just scrolling back through his previous work, and really a super good guy and a really very clean kitchen knife maker.
Yeah. Yeah, a reminder about a little blast from the past kind of scene, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful knives.
Yeah. I've got a few.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hear them.
Excellent.
Well, okay, so when I did the collab with Gus, I started seeing a bunch more of the Brazilian makers and South American makers, which we all know, like their bladesmithing stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I came across this Julian Antunes fellow.
That
I'm getting ready to
sounds
send you
familiar.
guys a picture. But just, holy shit.
We talked about his stuff in one of the episodes. I'm trying to remember which one.
Did we?
Yeah, I think so.
I know I talked to you. I sent you a picture of it, but I don't know if we talked about it. I cannot remember anymore.
Yeah,
Look at that
gorgeous stuff.
Damascus.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That Damascus, I've already got another one saved for Instagram, so I couldn't, copy and paste another one. But his work, phenomenal. I mean, that's just wild stuff.
Yeah.
And then, his Damascus, his mammoth work, it's pretty wild. Another one is one that I had sent to Mark. I think I sent this one to you. Let's see if this works. I don't know how to pronounce this. Simon Strikers. He's a Belgian maker.
Oh, yeah.
Help me with that one if you know how to pronounce that.
I don't know. Simon or Simon?
Yeah, it's SIMENSTRYCKERS on Instagram. A fairly new maker, but just very clean work. It's just one of those you kind of see and you're like, yeah, that's he's going to have some pieces that are going to be pretty popular. And it's one of those that just kind of hit me just right.
Yeah.
And then going back.
Very Enzo
Yeah.
style.
Marson almost. Too.
Marson, that was one other one I was going to say. Yep.
You know, very clean, very seemingly simplistic, but not really. You go through some of his Instagram, you'll kind of see that he's kind of learning, but at a very good rate. And I think we're going to see some cool stuff from that guy.
Yeah.
The orange G10 one, the thumb cutout, man, it makes me so reminiscent of like, and in a good way. It's not a copy of any way, shape, or form, but it makes me think of the rock lobster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Enzo used to
beautiful
talk
design. Yeah, this guy's going to go places.
Yeah. Pretty clean stuff.
Wow.
And one I talked to in my knife show traveling, I talked to Brian Brown a few times, and he's not new to anybody. He's, I think pretty popular with a bunch of collectors and whatnot, but a nice dude, and I enjoyed getting to shoot shit a few times with him at shows. It's always kind of nice to meet other, makers that you hadn't met before. And I don't know, one of the good parts about actually walking around sometimes, we kind of get stuck in our own little bubbles and things.
So his Instagram, is it Brian Brown?
I'm trying to pull that one up too. I can't multitask for shit. No, Brian Brown Knives.
I have to say I don't know who this is, but
yeah, he's so he's done some OEM work and stuff like that, and then also does his custom stuff. It's just one that I kept seeing more and more of his stuff. Then finally talked to him at a show for a bit, and just one of those nice dudes.
Oh yeah, I've seen his work.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, it seems lately, at least for me, it seems like there's a lot of new makers, and I seem to have less time to discover new makers. If that makes
very
sense.
much.
And it kind of makes me sad because I come across people every once in a while. Somebody will share something with me. I'm like, holy crap, this is somebody that's doing epic work. And then somebody else will share somebody else, and it's just like there's really some high level work being done out there, and I have no clue, because I get in my own little echo chamber and I see the same few knife makers, and it's kind of sad.
Oh yeah. If you like actually look around, you'll find there's whole pods of makers and collectors and things that are completely separated from everything we know and have heard about knife making. It is wild.
I honestly often, every once in a while I'll find somebody that I've never heard of, and they've got 100,000 followers or something or crazy like that. And I'm just like,
oh yeah,
huh?
Right.
It's
wild.
nuts.
So it's very strange when someone, a maker or whatever has like an ego, and you're like, man, we're just because you got followers or whatever, we're just dudes making shit, or, dudes and gals making shit.
Dude, I don't play the Instagram game hard, but I've been on there for a while. I've got over 1,000 pictures, and I've got like 19,000 followers. I'm like,
yeah,
But
it
like
doesn't
a
matter.
Bucket for most of these people.
It really does not. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I mean, if you can drop it to like 100 really good customers, wouldn't that be fucking better?
That's all.
I mean,
yeah.
100 people that actually gave a shit and like cared,
But I do think it's interesting though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just different audiences, right?
Oh,
ultimately. You're reaching different people on different platforms. There's a lot of people that do Instagram that have no interest at all in Facebook. So maybe it shouldn't
I'm
be
like the other way.
Yeah, right. So it shouldn't be surprising that like some of these people are talking about like they're new makers, and they're not, right? That Simon guy has been making knives since 2012. He says folders since 2012. You know what I mean? So I mean, there are things in a lot of cases. Folks like this sometimes are new to us, not necessarily new to doing stuff, right? Yeah, like you said, if you scroll back through his thing, you can see a lot of progress really fast, which is awesome.
Right.
But you know, there's just like entire swaths of makers and stuff that, oh my gosh, I didn't know that even existed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's in some ways that's one of the good parts about Instagram is if you want to discover, there's a lot of discovery to be had, you know what I mean, of finding new makers or different makers you haven't seen before, making stuff that maybe you haven't seen before. So
Yeah. It's cool. It's scary too though.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you're like, holy shit. You know, and yeah, I don't know what the metric is for quality or numbers or, you know, if any of that's real or not, or I don't really know how any of it works, but it's just like, holy shit. Like Tom said, you'll see him with a bunch of followers. You're like, no idea, no clue any of this even existed.
Yeah. It's a big wide world out there, boys
sure
and
is.
girls.
Sure.
It really is. And it's fun to watch it get bigger, and it's also scary, you know, because it's our job. But I don't know. Makes us better all around, I think.
Yeah.
But sometimes, tell you what, I see a lot of like kitchen knives. Sometimes I'm like, man, why do they fucking bother?
Why do you bother?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, damn, there's some
Feel
cool
that
shit out
a
there.
lot.
What about you, Sean? Did anything over the last year really catch your eye that we didn't talk about before, or even if we did, I guess?
No, man, like I'm a little out of the loop just because of the gun thing.
Distracted.
Yes. Oh, yeah, very much driven to distraction.
Yeah.
But I got some cool fucking guns.
I had noted that that Kwaiken that Jakub Slokowski did, this most recent one, I really like that in his feed, and he was a maker that Michael talked about here recently in another show. So he's doing really, really cool stuff. I got to reach out to him about something. And then Dave Brown, you know, we've talked about Dave tons on the show. He came and joined us for an episode, but he still continues personally to impress with like, he just gets around when it comes to designs, right? I mean, it's got a lot of, at this point, I'm thinking of it as his vibe, right? Like his spin on traditional shapes and designs in many cases, but it's distinctly like I see a picture, I'm scrolling fast through my phone, scroll. Oh, Dave's doing something new. And then, yep, it's him. And, you know, he's just done a ton of cool stuff this past year, right? Just gorgeous dagger that I saw on his feed a while ago, 13-inch overall, just a stunning little dagger. Not that little, right? 13-inch overall. But just gorgeous stuff. And I don't know. I always enjoy following along with what he's got going on.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing, but like you said, Mark, his style is really cool, but the pieces are complex.
Oh yeah.
They're finished like blow your mind finish, like 30 inches of hand rub 3V or some kind of craziness.
Right.
And the dude is prolific.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's putting pieces out. Like it's kind of crazy. I'm often find myself showing Ben stuff because we both really like his stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, he made another katana or dagger or whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ginormous sword, right? It'll make like ginormous sword, and then it'll make a couple of knives that are real small. Well, it's just like a bunch of different directions. It's really, really fun to watch.
If you're not a maker, you don't understand, really. I mean, hand rubbing sucks. Like, I can't explain how much it sucks. Michael might be able to. He does more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, not only does it suck, it's no fun. It's tedious. It's hard on your hands and your body and your back. And it's like, all I've ever done is, like, the biggest thing I've ever hand rubbed was like a 10-inch Bowie blade, you know? And I've maybe done that once. And it's like, I would never consider, and it wasn't 3V. 3V is also a whole nother level of torture.
Yeah.
And I've never done like a 30-inch blade.
Right.
I mean, that's just insanity. I don't know how he does it.
It's
Like
kind of
he-
wild.
right?
It's like looking at the Kaz brothers and being like, that would have been my magnum opus, and that's just your weekend.
Right.
No, right.
You know, it's absolutely.
Do you remember those cut and shoots they were building?
Yeah. I'm like, here's what we finished this week. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, and we made a bullet mold and made a whole bunch of loading tools, and we test fired it and shot some shit, and that's cool.
And made all the Damascus for it or something. I'm like, I'm gonna cry.
Some of these guys,
Right.
they're not like the rest of us.
Yeah.
No, they're that little stupid term of built different. No, they actually are.
Yeah.
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 And then they
Pretty
toss it over their shoulder, and then out comes a giant recurved 5
Excalibur
fuller
sword.
D guard. Yeah, right. It's like, what the hell?
That they forged their own stainless Damascus.
Yeah. Well,
my hat's off to those guys and David Brown, and it's
Hell
just
yeah, man.
yeah, people
keep
out there
rocking.
busting
keep
it out. And you get, I think Dave talked about this when we had him on the show, right? But and you can see it, I think, in his work where it's like, it feels like, and this is maybe me projecting on him, but it feels like he's got this in his head. It has to come out. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like he's doing it because he has to.
Yeah,
And-
very much.
And yes, loves it, but also has to, right? Like, hey, this is really cool, and I'm going to do it, and I have to do it. That's what I get that feel all the time with his stuff, and I don't know. Maybe I should feel sorry for him, but it's really cool to watch, right? Because the pieces are outstanding, and he's unafraid to stretch, and you know what I mean. I don't know. It's just so enjoyable.
Yeah, rock on, brother.
Yeah, it looks like he's just having fun.
And we all need to do more of that. Period.
He's either tormented as hell or he's having fun.
He's letting his demons out.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that in all of us, right? I mean,
Oh, for sure.
be honest.
I those stick tang daggers. I've made probably 2 daggers in my whole career, and I made 6 last week, a week before, and I was just like, what was I thinking here? But I wanted to do them 10 years ago, and I never did them, and so now I did. Finished them.
Yeah.
What is his Instagram again? For those that
Who's Instagram?
Browns.
Dave Browns. Dave
No, it's not Dave Brown. It's that something with a V.
Lasana.
Basana. Yeah.
Basana Blade Works or something like that.
Yeah, I just don't want people to be like, you fucker.
Yeah. Basana Blade Works, Dave Brown.
VASANA _Bladeworks _Dave _Brown. Yeah, such cool stuff. So anything else we got to talk about? Any other 2022 stuff?
Oh yeah.
Crazy shit
2023?
happened.
Yeah. You talking about me
Oh,
or
There's a couple different crazy things. Jason Knight, right? Jason's
Yep.
shop.
Yeah.
There was like an electrical fire or something. Is that what am I getting that story right?
yeah. Which is terrifying because all of us, I don't know. I've pulled electrical outlets and they're just they fill up with metallic dust.
Yep.
And it's kind of terrifying, and I don't know what the answer is, but apparently some of that arced out, and he had a lot of damage,
It sure looked like it.
which is heartbreaking. I mean, if you're another maker and have a shop or whatever.
yeah. It's fire is the boogeyman that hides underneath our shop benches. It's the scary shit that we always think about. It's horrible.
Well, and seems like it often manifests itself when you're not even expecting it to, right? Like some shit's been smoldering and then takes off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or something jumps and burns and you're like in the house or somewhere else, or you know what I mean? It seems like that's
Yeah.
how a lot of these have happened.
Yeah.
So there's a GoFundMe, I think, for Jason.
There is. I think Liam had it in his. Let's see if I can.
Liam Hoffman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Liam had it in his. We can find that and put it up in
Yeah.
the group.
We'll put it in the Facebook group.
I know they're doing some auctions and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. We'll definitely add that to it.
Yeah.
One thing we forgot to add is favorite episode.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Not for me, man.
No.
Mall Ninja time.
Easy. What's that? Do what?
Favorite episode is that Mall Ninja one.
Attack of the Mall Ninja.
No, not me. I think, did we do the one where we picked up, like, made up scenarios for each other this year? Or was that the year before? I forgot to go look.
We had spring camping. No, that was last year.
Damn, that was like my favorite all time.
You got to pick one from this year, Tom.
I'm looking. I did like the camping picks. That was actually, I personally like the pick episodes where I get to pick stuff for you guys because I enjoy thinking about what you would like or what, that kind of stuff, and or picking tools for you guys. I enjoy that a lot.
We did a spring camping and a fall camping in 2022. And I know we did at least one of those in a previous season.
I think I like the spring one better.
Yeah.
But I mean, we also had some really cool people on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even going to try to pick one of those because.
Yeah.
No, do it.
What's that?
Do it.
No, I'm not going to pick one of those because I don't want to alienate everybody else.
I know.
And I actually really enjoy every single one because it's like you find so much out about people that you think you know, but you really don't. I mean, we all have such interesting and complex backstories and how we got into it differently and stuff like that.
They were all really good interviews. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was telling somebody about that. It's like there's people that a lot of these makers I've known for, I thought, a long time that I had no idea some of these things about them.
Yeah.
Until we talked to them like this.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody else enjoys it. But
what I really want to know is, like, everyone else's, what was your all's favorite, like, episode, like in our Facebook or whatever?
Oh, yeah. That'd
like
be good
to know.
Yeah, we'd love to know that.
Yeah.
Because then we'll just do a bunch of them until you hate that type of episode.
I figured yours was going to be less George, Michael.
Right. Obviously.
Gross.
I mean,
have we scrubbed that from the internet yet?
Obviously, the Les George interview. One of them I really liked in 2022 that was, I thought, was fascinating and something different for us was Justin Black from Spycraft 101 when he joined us. I really like that.
The one I missed.
Oh yeah, you did miss that one. That was an outstanding interview. I thought Justin's a really interesting guy, and it was super cool of him to join us. And I liked it because it was a little outside the box for us. It was cool, but not that far outside the box.
Dagger episode was kind of fun.
Dagger episode was excellent. Yep.
We haven't had Rachel on lately.
We haven't had her. I'm looking at this thing. Did we have her at all in 2022? That's ridiculous.
I don't think
I'm pretty
so.
sure she has a damn microphone. Rachel.
I don't think. Oh, train. I don't think we did.
She's got a microphone.
We still need to design a shirt. I've got it on my board back here. I've got like a guitar and it says less play, more stab. Remember she had the little kids guitar.
Right.
But
Wear that to the kids' soccer games and stuff.
There you go.
Right? Less play, more stab.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Another one that I really liked that I ended up being, I knew it would be a cool interview, but it ended up being super, super fun just because it was full of like massive time machine throwback was the discussion we had with Jade Marsh. That was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah, the whole, that's like the epitome of you think you know a guy.
Yeah.
Jade got us in the Wayback Machine and hit the nitrous button. It was really, really, really fun. I like that.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
He made me remember shit that I thought I'd forgotten.
I had forgotten.
Yeah. We had such great guests though, right? We had, who all did we have last year? Let's just rattle them off because they were all good. Jason Stout, a couple episodes with us. Les George, Michael's favorite. The OG friend of the show, Nick Rossi, came back and joined us. That was really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Jade Marsh was with us. Like I said, that was outstanding. I loved all the old school talk, and he got so excited. That was one of the best parts about that episode was just hearing Jade get so excited talking about old school makers. That was so cool. Pat Pruitt did a couple shows with Pat. That was excellent. Justin Black, Kirby Lambert, Nick Swan, Mike Wessenberry. Yeah, just a bunch of great guests. all good stuff, right? We have some very cool ones, I think, that we're going to pull together here for 2023. We have a mic with a maker right now that's going to be a really interesting one because it'll be full of the same old school stories and flashbacks. So I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll
Yeah, man.
I don't think I'm going to say who it is, but it'll be a really good one.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. What anything else we want to hit? What other stuff do we want to try to do with the show this year? We got some good interviews, right? We got a few people on our list and some things lined up that should be super good.
We got to get the doctor in the house again. That I didn't realize that, and that needs to be
Dr.
fixed
Puri.
immediately. Yep.
Yeah. Rachel, come back.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get back together. We had a whole list of episodes to talk about with Rachel, so we got to revisit the list because we conspired with Rachel and put together a bunch of episode ideas. So we got to get her to join us again.
You know what? We need our other doctor back too. I'll go ahead and say that. We need our Sheffield correspondent.
Yes, Sheffield
Agree.
correspondent Grace Horn. We got to get that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get Grace back with us. That'll be cool. We had some ideas with Grace too.
Yeah, we challenge you to come back.
That won't work.
Probably not.
No, it might, but I don't know.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Yeah. So we'll do that. We talked about having Jason on with us, Jason Knight. We just talked about his shop situation. I bet it'd be interesting to talk to him after that too. Just the whole, what's that even like?
Yeah.
Could be horrifying.
Probably give him a little time first though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying sometime this year. That'd be good.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think we should revisit this history combo sode thing that we did, where we had each of us picked out a maker and did some research. That was a pretty cool thing.
I think, yeah, little bites of history. Everyone says they like history, but sometimes our stats say you don't like them as much.
Yeah,
So
history
I
episodes, they don't get the same kind of download rate. I don't know why.
We don't do this for stats, guys.
No, I'm just saying it's interesting
just,
data.
Yeah. But no, I think those are a better way to kind of get some of that fun, intriguing history out there and little bites of it. And a lot of these guys, they just don't have the information out there.
Right.
But they need the recognition because they did some badass shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I saw in our Mark of the Maker Facebook group and on his own Facebook page, our friend Mr. Nick Rossi put his educational opportunities with Nick Rossi, which sounds like an NPR show. But I expect it's a lot more fun. So let's see. February in LA, March in Tucson, wrought iron Sanmai chef knife, end of March in Phoenix. That sounds cool. The BAM Ozark Conference, late April in Sedalia, Missouri.
Yes.
You guys are going to go stalk his ass. That's what's going to happen.
Hell yeah, we are.
So I've actually been like text or Facebook messaging back and forth with Nick during the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not a class.
What?
It's a seminar. So it's like a demonstration only.
Wow.
I was like, I don't know if I texted back. I wanted him to school me. He's like, oh, there'll be an open forge if you want to pound stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but that won't, I need schooling.
Here's what we do. We talk him back into coming, Ozark way.
Right.
And then...
Oh, I've seen every episode of Ozark. I know where this is going. Go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we'd be like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, this hammer. You want to pick it up and swing it a couple times?
Right.
Oh, the forge just happens to be on.
Good old-fashioned Ozark abduction. That's what we're talking about.
Be a shame if you happen to teach us a few things.
What does BAM stand for?
Badass.
I knew that's where I knew. I set it up. You swatted it. I knew it would happen.
And it's out of the park.
Mm-hmm. No clue.
And then in July, he's going to be in Jersey. Then August in Johnstown, PA. Mankato, Minnesota. That boy gets around.
Yeah.
Late August in Troy, Ohio. That's not far from me. So I think I saw Andy Frankart saying he was going to try to swing by there. It's not far. It's really not far from Andy. So maybe I'll swing down and pick Andy up and we'll go there.
When's the Troy one?
August 24th through 27th. Mid-America ABS Super Hammer-In. It's not a regular hammer-in.
All I can see is like, they got some $8 Bud Light tall boys, and you got like this. He's got his own little fan. Woo! You go, Nick!
Right. Yeah. If Andy and I go, we're at 100% chance we're going to wear We Heart Nick Rossi t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
That's only 10 hours from my shop.
See, I bet you could take a class there. That's an ABS Super Hammer. And look at that, 24th, 25th, 26th, 4 days.
I got to get some instructions somewhere.
All right, come on up to Ohio.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at the list.
See, if you come and if Sean comes, then we can do it like we're at the football game. And we just all wear white t-shirt. Well, we can wear black t-shirts for Sean. We'll all wear black t-shirts, and then we'll all pull our shirts up at the same time, and it's painted on our chests. We Heart Nick Rossi.
I was stupid.
So anyway, Nick's got a bunch of stuff going on. Go check out his schedule if you want to learn some stuff, and there's tons of other opportunities beyond that. I would say that's a really good, it starts to sound like a New Year's resolution, but, it's the right time of year, right? Set yourself a goal, pick a thing, and go do something, right? Just pick something.
Yeah, 100%.
I think hanging out with you guys would not be necessarily good if we're doing the paint on my belly thing, because I think we should do a shirt, because I'm going to feel bad if everybody's showing bellies and I got to show mine. So,
because you're so ripped, Tom?
No, the opposite of that. I have my winter padding on.
Me too, buddy. It's okay.
Same here.
You and I can do the Nick Rossi part because it'll just be in all caps.
Okay. I got plenty of space to write on me.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Lots of real estate. Well, I think that's about it, unless you guys got something else.
Nothing important.
Good.
Seems like it's been forever. Probably has.
Sean, you got anything else you want to hit, man?
Nah, not really.
I think, we got to say a big thanks to George at American Metal Exchange. Thanks, George, for all your support over the last season. George was with us a whole season this past year. Is very, very cool. So thank you, my man. We appreciate your support and generosity. And also to our friends on Patreon. You guys are awesome. Really hugely helpful for us. So thanks again to all of our patrons on Patreon. We appreciate your support. And I'm almost sure I only went to one show this last year, so I'm going to try to get to a couple this year. I got to figure out which ones. Maybe I'll go shack up with Birch and go to Blade Show.
Oh, yeah.
That's a spirit right there.
Right there.
Yeah, maybe so. Could be fun.
Saw you for like 5 minutes in Nashville.
Right. It felt like we weren't there very long.
Yeah.
So.
Some bullshit.
Well, that's what happens when family stuff is involved.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, fellas, I think that's it. Kicking her off, season 6. We got lots to do, lots of people to talk to. Be another good one, I'm quite sure. So
lots of dumb shit to say, words to mispronounce.
Yeah.
We got it all.
It's kind of a specialty for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes they're not even hard names to pronounce and we get them wrong.
Nope.
Yeah.
My own.
My cool.
Tom doesn't even have his own name anymore. What the fuck?
That's right. You're right. Nameless.
Formerly known as.
Yeah. Formerly known as Crying Knives. Thanks everybody for listening. We will talk to you next time and a whole bunch more times here in 2023.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, all.
Thanks, folks.
To learn more about our makers, you can find Tom Crine on the web at crineknives.net, in his Facebook group, Crine Knives, or in his Instagram account, at Crine Knives. For Michael Birch, check birchtreeblades.com, Facebook group Birch Tree Blade Works, or Michael's Instagram at birchtreeblades. For myself and the Raygun Bead Project, we're on the web at raygundivision.com. We have a Facebook group called Raygun Division, or my personal Instagram, at msteiner. For those interested in photos, references from the show, or some discussion about the show itself, You can find us on the web at markofthemaker.com, in a Facebook group called Mark of the Maker, or on our Instagram at Mark of the Maker. Last but not least, the ultra cool and haunting background music we use for the show is a piece called Noir Guitar by Stevie's Amp Shack, found at the Free Music Archive and licensed under Creative Commons CC BY 4.0. Thanks for listening.